Yeah, and for the old people, if you ever check on my channel, you're a nice person, which I highly doubt. I don't know. Hopefully, whatever, or my age, and maybe you live out of some big town. You turn left or right. There's a county road. You don't have the internet, and you're trying to beat me up, or hopefully not beat me up, just listening. While I'm here, real quick, for I think I just put it out. Yeah, problem. Oh, tobacco leaves too. They sell those out for American people. Pick tobacco. There was a person I knew that had one of those tobacco shops that make them fucking tobacco pipes. They told me, and they said they didn't know if it was true, but they're trained that owns one of those buildings. 100% pure tobacco leaf will kill somebody with a touch. He was mixing up those fake vape pipes. He was just mixing so fast and touched one of the drops, and he almost died. But yeah, I've heard from old timers, if you touch a pure tobacco leaf, wherever the fuck they make them, I don't work there and I don't want to know either that one. You know what I'm saying? But if you touch a pure fucking tobacco leaf, it'll kill you. One of my friends that owns one of those vape shops, a tobacco vape shop, almost died. He owned it. He wasn't a friend. I was a customer. He wasn't a friend. I just didn't know how to describe him. I'm sorry, but I was just a customer and he owned it, and it was a really nice shop. He took a lot of. It was a brand new building, a nice shop, and he didn't get a lot of business. It was years ago, but I was a customer, and he was working so fast. He told, yeah, we made jokes and asked him if it was true, and he accidentally, like a year or two later, working so fast, he accidentally touched one of the drops and he almost did die. Yeah, 100% pure. I have no idea, but yeah, it's definitely not 1980, and it's not definitely 1990, 2001 when World Trade Center went down. A lot of shit happened 5 or 10 years from now. Maybe that Elon Muskie dude, and people know that, could make a 1980s cellular device, sell a boombox or cellular calculator that has a solar power or something that would work. But until they get the drones to stop hitting airplanes and get crime under control, get good and bad people that's adults and should act their age and mind their own business, check security camera passwords once in a while or do something about that problem. I don't know. But I haven't shoplifted since I've been 12 years old. And since then, I've witnessed all kinds. Oh, yeah, we did detassel corn too. And part of it we had to for school. Yeah, part of our school you had to. If your parents, this was 1991 and 95 in my town. Well, not my town, but where I went to high school. Two or three the high schools I went to. Three high schools where I was on probation. East Fort Wayne, which is East New Haven probation. But anyway, and DeKalb at Butler, Pennsylvania, Ohio line. Anyway, we had a detassel corn for school behind Seckler's Pickles, which is a really small factory. They made pickles, but part of school was if you flunked your class and you didn't go to summer school, if you didn't go to summer school because you flunked, you had to detassel corn, and other people had to detassel corn to get part of their probational driving test. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's not 1995 to 1994, and it's not that town. But and yeah, detasseling corn, it was something you could do, and if you didn't go to summer school, you had to. But it's definitely not then now, and that could totally change. But yeah, the Seckler's Pickles was a really small factory where they detasseled the corn at. But you know what? I they're not the only factory called Seckler's Pickles, and they really did make Seckler's Pickles. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get a job there in '95, but it was so small, and they put them like in barrels and shells. Like fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to work there because there's only like 5 or 6 people that work there. You can only put so many cucumbers in a bucket per minute. You know what I'm saying? While you wait for them to age. But anyway, yeah, with vinegar or whatever, pickle them. But yeah, but I don't. I am all for internet, for the farmers, for in the country. But as far as people in their households, at your neighbor next door, they're living out there because they have a house there, having chickens and ducks and a deer and peacocks and tigers, and they're your neighbor, but they're loud. That shit, if they're not making it for the stores, I'm totally against that. I need free internet to drive. Yeah, that's totally shit. Because if you're not licensed for mass production to feed America, I mean, farm aid, them motherfuckers need money. And I wouldn't want to get a house and live there for a year, and then all of a sudden a new couple moves next in. It gets peacocks and dogs and chickens and bunnies and stuff that screams, and I can't sleep all night. And I was already there first. I'd be pissed. They're just doing it to be assholes because there's a noise ordinance, and people need to fucking sleep sometimes for their fucking life. But the big farmers are actually producing for Farm Aid and for Walmart with chickens, 10,000 per year that lay eggs all year round. And at the end of the year, People have to remove them out of their cages to get them chopped up for a chicken soup, chicken nuggets, Tyson. Because if I've known people that are vegetarians, when they go in to become a vegetarian, but they need a doctor's order, the doctor will say, you're committing suicide, and we can't legally really let you do it. After 5 or 10 years, your poop sack, your colostomy, poop bag, it will turn to liquid and it'll turn to mush. I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, it's vegetarians. It's a suicide. Within 10 minutes, you're dead. Or 10 years, you're dead, because you have to have some kind of you get diarrhea if you live on liquid. You get diarrhea. And a feeding tube, like they used to make jokes in the 80s. It's definitely not the 80s no more. But they cannot put a stake through your feeding tube in a coma. There's always jokes about that. There's no Thorazine in beer. I don't feel like sex. I'll have a deadly concoction of Thorazine and beer real quick. I have a headache. No sex for me tonight, honey. Roll over and turn off the motel light. Resident number B, turn off the light. No sex tonight. I have a concoction headache of Thorazine and alcohol. A deadly combination. You know what? They don't make Thorazine no more. They quit the year I fucking became crazy. Not 1969. Yeah, from somebody else that was 18. That was a schizophrenic. Later.